A pleasant morning to each and everyone. Today we are going to discuss the lesson 5, which is changing species composition. Our lesson objectives is determining the effects of changing species composition and how changes can affect individual and suggest practical mitigation that can be done in the household. Species diversity refers to the variation among species in an ecosystem. High species diversity tends to mean that an area is healthier than when there is low species diversity. So it means that species diversity is the amount or the how many different species of living things like animals, plants, insects, and even tiny organisms live in one area. For example, a rainforest nga naay mga birds, frogs, snakes, monkeys, and mga different kinds of trees has high species diversity. But a farm that grows only one crop like crop corn has low species diversity. Due to human activities such as urbanization, farming, fishing, deforestation, mining, and many more, the species composition in the environment has changed. So with the increase of human population, rapid overexploitation of natural resources followed, depleting the number of species in a vast land area. Example, a plantation of a certain plant species. So, how human activities affect species diversity? So, as human population grows, syempre, we also need land to build our houses. So we use more land and natural resources for things like this. First is the urbanization. We building cities and roads. So farming, planting same crops over a large area. Then sa fishing, fishermen removing too many fish from oceans and rivers. Sa deforestation, cutting down forests, 'di ba? Then sa mining, miners digging up land for minerals. So in this human activities, it can change or destroy natural habitats of this species. So when forests are cleared or land is turned into plantation, like for example, growing only bananas or palm oil. So, daghan jud kaayog mga species nga nagpuyo dara sa specific area nga mawalaan jud sila og home or must die out. So, this is one of the main reason why it reduces species diversity.
So good day once again. My name is Polenji Patolada. And let's take a look at this picture. Here, we have the influencers, primary drivers that will lead to biodiversity loss. But first, let me discuss the meaning of influencers and what are the influencers. Next. So when we say influencers, it comes from the word influence, maka-impluensya, meaning maka-epekto siya especially negative effects. Influencers kay makapaspas or makapadali ang mga epekto sa primary drivers na magsanhi og biodiversity loss. So, the influencers do not directly destroy the biodiversity but ginapalala niya ang epekto ani. First is human population growth. Kay magkadaghan naman ang population, ang mga tao, we need more land, food, water, and housing. And this will lead to consuming the natural resources. So, pag gamitin na nato ang resources, aron makater atong mga needs, then magkakos siya like habitat loss, pollution, and etc. Second is increasing consumption. So, mo to akong ingon nga ang mga tao uses more products and resources. So, The higher the population, the higher the consumption. Then, the more nga mag-take og resources ang mga tao sa environment. The third one is reduce resource efficiency. Ang mga tao kay sometimes wala nakabalo nga ang ilang gibuhat kay naay negative effects sa environment. So meaning, if dili nato gamiton ang natural resources wisely or effectively, then pwedeng masayang lang or ma-overuse. So that's it for the influencers. Next. Now let's talk about the meaning of primary drivers and what are the 5 primary drivers. These are the main or direct causes na nag-harm sa ecosystem leading to the reduce of number of species or causing the plants and animals to decline or worse, go extinct. First is habitat loss. Next. So that's the next. So that's the 5 primary drivers. Next. First is habitat loss, meaning fragmenting or outright destruction of an ecosystem's plant, soil, hydrologic, and nutrient resources. Kabalo naman ta sa habitat loss, no? Tungod sa deforestation, farming, roads, or magtukod og buildings, ang mga animals wala na'y mapuy-an. Tapos, need nila mangita og another habitat aron makasurvive and makita og foods. Second is invasive species. Any non-native species that significantly modifies or disrupts the ecosystem colonizes. So, species nga dili native sa kana nga area tapos gi-introduce accidentally or intentionally sa mga tao. So, ang apektuan is pwede sila makig-compete sa mga native species nga namuyo dito una sa area, leading for the native species to decline or muhawa sa ilang area. Third is overexploitation, process of harvesting too many aquatic or terrestrial animals which depletes the stock of some species while driving others to extinction. Too much pag-harvest or pagkuha sa mga nature's resources and species na pwede mag-lead to extinction and tungod ana dili na mabalance ang ecosystem. Fourth is pollution. Addition of any substance or any form of energy to environment at a rate faster than it can be rendered harmless. So, it makes the environment toxic. Kay nag-release man og mga harmful substances whether sa air, water, soil, etc. Parehas anang sa pabrika or mga basura or plastic waste nga ginalabay sa dagat. Pwedeng makadaot ug makapinsala sa mga living organism nga namuyo didto sa dagat. Last primary driver is climate change associated with global warming. Modification of Earth's climate associated with the rising level of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere over the past 1 or 2 centuries. So, long-term changes sa temperature ug weather tungod sa greenhouse gas emissions, like pag-burn og fossil fuels for electricity, mga usok gikan sa mga sakyanan o gikan sa mga pabrika, makakos siya og pag-init sa atong planeta faster than normal. And tungod sa kainit, mga bagyo or wala kayo ulan sa ubang area, ang ubang living organisms is dili makasurvive or mawad-an silang food sources due to changing weather patterns. And all of that will lead to biodiversity loss. Mugamay na lang or worse, mawala ang mga naglailahing species of plants, animals, and other living things sa certain area or on Earth. And maapektuhan ang both nature and human life. And now, Mr. Anwar will discuss the impact of changing species composition. Thank you.
So once again, good day. So at this juncture, let us discuss about the impact of changing species composition. So the first one is loss of biodiversity. So native species may decline or diminish tungod sa invasive species. So di ba familiar naman ta sa invasive species since na-discuss naman ni Ma'am Ronel katong midterm na to. Yeah. So mauday ni sila ang mga non-native organism that pag i-introduce nimo sila sa new environment, it can causes harm to sa ato ang environment, economy or human health. So because of them, we may lose different flora and fauna, which means plants and animals, which can lead to imbalanced ecosystem. Ang mga example ani kay janitor fish, tilapia, I think, and hagunoy, tapos Asian bullfrogs, or katong lionfish. Kaning lionfish, wala ni sa ato ang Pilipinas kay murag na siya sa Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific. Kuan gani siya kanang invasive gani siya kay paspas kay sila mo reproduce muguba sa ato ang economy sa dagat or sa atong biodiversity sa dagat kay kauno nila ato ang corals then wala sila natural predators. Gani maguba gid atong diversity ana. An example pa sa invasive species kay mga rare insects or kanang mga species nga makaharm sa ato ang environment na mga cause og biodiversity loss. Additionally, if na biodiversity loss, maglisod gud dapat ang ecosystem kay mag-isod gud dapat ang ecosystem sa mga environmental changes. Also, biodiversity loss can affect human health as ecosystem can't adequately meet the social needs. Kay of course, human survival kay nagdepend sa ato ang biodiversity. And the second one is food web disruption. So, changing species composition can disrupt predator to prey relationship. Kay for example, mawala ang isa ka animal where others rely on for food. The food chain get unbalanced. Kay of course, unsa may kaunon sa predator if mawala si prey, di ba? Kung ikaw tao, mawatan ka pagkaon tungod sa composition changes, mabuhi kaya ta or makasurvive kaya ta, di ba dili? So, affected yun punta ng mga tao or dili lang kita kundi katong mga naka-benefits ato nga mga species. And the third one is reduce ecosystem services. So, forest helps water to be filtered, regulate climate, and provide many services we depend, such as clean air or fertile soil. So, if na species composition or changing species composition, ang ecosystem na to nga naga-service to store carbon and preserve environment kay ma-reduce. And the fourth one is increase vulnerability to environmental stress. So, there are species na duulunon kayo mga pest or insect na makapekto sa ilahang habitat. That can lead to environmental stress. If the species are stronger and more resistant to pest or disease tend to survive, so the more na mas healthy si species, the more nalayo siya sa different diseases. Remember guys na that mas healthy or balanced ang ecosystem if ang mga species layo sa mga peste or sakit. O peste og sakit o kay of course maka-circulate man sila og tarong ug maka-reproduce sila og tarong nga makahatag og kamaayuhan sa atuang biodiversity. And the last one is changes in habitat structure. So, different trees and plants create different environment or a home for animals. So, if tree species changes, the nesting and shelter of wildlife also change. Kabalo man tanon na ang shelter sa different species labaw na sa kanang mga forest area kay nakadepende jud na sa structure sa environment. So, if mag-change napoy tendency na mag-change ang wildlife or possibly manghawa sila and find again some area where makasurvive sila. So mauna sila ang mga mao lang na ang mga some of the impacts of changing composition daghan pa kay na. So mag-conclude lang ko if kang take note that the impact of changing species composition refers on how shift in the types and numbers of species and ecosystem affects its structure and function. What I mentioned earlier are some impacts if there are changing species composition. Always remember, as kita human, we can help to preserve the nature and maintain the healthy of ecosystem through declining human activities that can affect the ecosystem. So, kita mga tao, ma-help na to ma-preserve ang ato ang environment through declining sa mga illegal activities sa ato ang ecosystem. Nakadepende atong health sa ato our health may also depend on air we breathe. So, I think that's the end of my part. So, to further discuss, I'm passing the floor to to the next reporter.
Good day, everyone. I am Hannah Joy T. Villarubia, and I will discuss the solutions to mitigate the impact of loss of biodiversity. First is government restrictions and policies. So, the government implement laws to protect the environment. So, example for that is the Philippine Clean Air Act or the RA 8749 and the Clean Water Act or the RA 9275. So now the RA 8749 or the Clean Air Act, so it controls air pollutants by regulating emissions from vehicles, factories, and burning of waste, and it requires industries to install pollution control devices. And the RA 9275 or the Clean Water Act, it prevents water pollution by monitoring industrial waste discharge into rivers, lakes, and seas, and these acts are enforced by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or the DENR that promotes cleaner ecosystems for both humans and wildlife. So this two two laws or the Republic Act is some of the re- some of the government implementation laws, and it reduces pollution to protect the environment. Second is the education. So we all know that education plays a key role in shaping environmental responsibility. So, the example for this is the environmental science in schools and barangay level awareness programs. So, environmental science now is taught in many schools to raise awareness among students about climate change, conservation, and sustainability. And sa ato ang mga barangay kay na may mga seminar na ginakandak no siguro kay every barangay kay naga-conduct na jud kay sa amo pong barangay kay na may mga seminar on practices like waste segregation, tree planting, and reducing plastic use. So this empowers citizens, especially the youth, to actively protect biodiversity. Third is protection of species and habitats. So establishing protected areas shields endangered species and fragile ecosystems. So, ang example ani is ang creation of protected areas like Tubataha Reef and the Mount Apo Natural Park. So, ang Tubataha Reef kay it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This marine sanctuary kanang ginaprotektahan niya ang coral reefs and various fish species from illegal fishing. And ang Mount Apo Natural Park, so it is home to the endangered Philippine eagle. So kani nga park preserves rainforest ecosystem. So kani nga area ang Mount Apo Natural Park kay ginamanage na siya under sa NIPAS or the National Integrated Protected Area System Act. So which naga-provide sila og mga legal protection and nagahatag po sila og funds for conservation. And fourth is the stop deforestation. So, naga-total logging ban sila in natural forest. So, ang DNR kay naga-prohibits logging and old growth forests to prevent habitat destruction and soil erosion. So, example sa program ani which is the National Greening Program. So, ang National Greening Program kay nag-reforest na siya sa mga denuded areas. So, when we say denuded areas, it means kanang gi-destroy na gani or gi-remove na siya. For example, ang trees kay gi-remove from specific area or kanang ang dahon ba kay gina-remove siya sa tree. So ang kaning National Greening Program kay murag ginabalik niya tong mga na-remove by encouraging citizens, especially students and organizations to plant trees. So kaning efforts, it restores habitats, it regulates climate and reduce flooding. And fifth is the prevent overhunting and overfishing. So for overhunting, so wildlife law enforcement in the Philippines is primarily ginamanage siya by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources through the Biodiversity Management Bureau or the BMB. So kaning ang main legal framework aning Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act of 2000 or the Republic Act 9147 kay kani nga naga-provide siya for the conservation for protection and sustainable use of wildlife resources and their habitats. So ang diriya sa wildlife law enforcement in the Philippines naay mga wildlife officers nga naga-monitor sa forest to stop poaching of endangered species like tarsiers and Philippine deer. And then sa overfishing naman kay naay ginatawag nga bantay dagat. So kaning bantay dagat, it is a dedicated groups nga it is a volunteer-based coastal patrol group that combats illegal fishing like kanang mga naga labay og dynamite og naga cyanide fishing. So ang aim ani nila sa bantay dagat kay to conserve the abundant marine life surrounding their thousands of islands, so which has been under pressure for years from intensive overfishing. And last solution is the stop pollution through green technology. So ang example ani niya is phase out of diesel jeepneys or the PUV modernization program. So abot di ko sure kung nakadungog na mo ani nga naay kanang part sa kanang diriya sa Philippines naay kanang specific area sa Philippines nga kuan sila aning PUV modernization program, which kanang ang aims nila kay i-replace nila tong mga old jeepneys gani katong mga traditional jeepneys, i-replace nila with electric or Euro 4 compliant vehicles that emit fewer pollutants, because ang katumagong mga traditional jeepneys kay grabe magudtong kanang pollution ba nga madala diri sa environment nga. Kani nga program kay naga-support ni siya the urban air quality and reduces carbon emissions, so helping combat climate change and its effects on biodiversity. So kaning PUV modernization program kay kanang it is considered superior to traditional jeepneys, balimra na siya kanang mas taas gani sa traditional jeepneys in combating pollution, because it promotes the use of more efficient nga modern vehicles with stricter emission standards, leading to a reduction in harmful pollutants. So by phasing out older or by phasing that traditional jeepneys kay that traditional jeepneys or the poorly maintained vehicles, so kani nga program, this PUV modernization program aims to significantly reduce air pollution and improve air quality, and it is according to the Environment Management Bureau or the EMB. So in conclusion, human actions like pollution, habitat destruction, and overexploitation are key contributors to biodiversity loss. So these issues not only harm plants and animals, but also pose health risk to people. However, through strong government policies, environmental education, and active community involvement, we can protect ecosystems, reduce environmental damage, and ensure a healthier planet for future generations. That's all. Thank you.